Eid Mubarak, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bars for the Eid Mubarak. Yeah. Let's go. Tell them welcome to the rarefied. I can't be up here terrified. Pterodactyl Sharon, Red Baron meets Tuskegee Airmen vibes. Barrel rolling, Darren dives, and back to base like he Derek Hodge. Say my prayers like I'm scared of God. In my backyard doing samurai moves, wearing pods. He's kinda square and odd, from an era where we called sharing cobs. Being on Ohio, we want sharing cars. Mind of Aristotle, larynx of a professor emeritus. You might be your cities, but I'm America's. Fill in the blanks, kill 'em with thanks.
You know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane. A kilómetros estamos conectando. Y me prendes aunque no me estés tocando. You know I got a lot to say. All these voices in the background of my brain.
Alright, welcome to The Situation. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News. This is the Pseudo Snort Report. I am your host. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for tips and member goals not being hit, and please having fun in the chat. It's a terrible day, ladies and gentlemen, when you decide not to give money and then you still think, no, you still believe you're entitled to come into somebody's chat, a streamer, a professional streamer and content creator, 13-year legacy, just so you guys don't forget, and think that you can have a good time. What the fuck is wrong with you people? You guys should be ashamed of yourself. You're selfish. You're all fucking selfish if you think you guys can do that. I know, it's horrible. Anywho, let's go ahead and stop all the talking and get to the talking. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys are doing well. And let's go ahead and get into the situation proper. And I'll see you guys in just a second. And remember, don't be selfish.
Kilómetros estamos conectando. Y me prendes aunque no me estés tocando. You know I got a lot to say. All these voices in the background of my brain. Y me dicen todo lo que estás pensando. Me imagino lo que ya estás maquinando.
Alright, so today I plan on
Alright, so indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Hate Army Watch. Let's see here. Tips and member goals are not being hit, and please stop having fun in the chat. This video was published on August 30th of 2021. The link, as usual, will be down in the description. Let's go ahead and get to the fun.
Fallout New Vegas. However, ladies and gentlemen, I need to appeal to all of you, because right now I'm looking at the stream chat. I don't see a single green name. Not one. And let me tell you guys something. Alright? That's okay. But today, if you have been holding off from becoming a channel member, for whatever reason it may be, I would hope that today you will listen to my appeal to you, and you will consider...
It's not really an appeal, it's more of a plead. But does anybody catch Bad Bunny vibes? Is anybody getting that? Or is anybody getting Vader vibes from all this? That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's amazing how all of you guys are in my chat and can be here for hours at a time, and yet I haven't had any subs, I don't see any new subs, and no one's giving me any money. Well, what are you guys doing with your lives? Are you really going to continue to take advantage of this free entertainment that I provide you? Oh, did I also mention that it's free? And it's free. And also, let's not forget, it's free. The least you guys could do could throw up some money. $5. $5 is all it would require of you guys to continue to participate with this. I'm not saying that you guys are cheapskates. I'm not saying that you guys are taking advantage of a situation. I know most of you are like, hey, GTG, aren't you kind of putting words into his snout? Maybe, but let's see. They're not snorts just yet, so, you know, work with me on this. It's still early. But that's essentially what he's saying. That's essentially what he's implying. Let's be honest. All of this content, right, is free. The platform is free. If you choose to put money down on it, then so be it. If you choose not to, yet again, so be it. No one should feel pressured to give anybody else anything. So how do we get to this point? Just like Vader before him, just like Bad Bunny, how do people get to the point where They choose, key phrase, they choose to do this for a living, and yet they feel entitled to be paid so they can continue to keep doing it for a living. How do we get to this point? How? Who had the gun to your head and told you, you know what, you're going to have to stream for a living from now on? You can't do anything else. You're not allowed to do anything else. Just this. Dance Monkey. Who put the gun to their head and told them to do that? I'm just asking.
Channel member, all right? First of all, we have been dancing between 200 to 250 channel members for like 2 months. I've wanted to get growth on this channel, but it's very tough to do so when there's really nothing going on in the realm of gaming. It's, you know, really low profile releases that don't really bring in much attention.
But if you were a talented, entertaining, and intelligent individual, all things that he claims to be, by the way, shouldn't his personality be able to carry the day? Shouldn't his personality be one of the draws, not just the game? And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, new releases don't help Darkside Phil. It's funny how they seem to help everybody else, but they don't help him. And it's funny because he calls himself a variety streamer, yeah? Now, there's two different frames of thought, right, when it comes to being a variety streamer. One, let's go with the DSP part of it. Let's go with the Gowdy part. That's always fun. He believes that he should just play each and every hot new release and try to continue playing them all at once, right? Not actually progressing in anything, not learning anything, not actually building an audience off each one of these games because everything's so jumbled up, right? And then this idiot can barely remember controls. And then certain games ended up getting pushed to the night stream or the chill stream. And then that usually goes into oblivion. And it takes months upon months upon months to complete any of these games because this idiot is treating streaming like this was YouTube content creation or YouTube videos back in like 2008, 2009, right? Where everybody's just going to absorb every new bit of content that comes out. That's the Gowdy way of thinking about it, short version. For other content creators, you play the new game that comes out. Let's say there's 5 new games that come out. You pick one. Maybe you pick 2, but you pick one. You play it for about a week. You see how people like it. You see how far you get into it. You know what I'm saying? And then you put it on the back burner, or you move on to one of the other 5 new releases that also came out around that time. Or you play one video game for about 5 hours that day, take a break, come back and stream for another 4 or 5 hours, and play another new release. And you kind of just see how it goes. You gauge what the audience wants and what they don't want, instead of trying to do everything and failing at everything. You know what I mean? Like, yes, streamers are, well, most streamers are known for jumping on the hype early and probably getting off of it right before the hype ends. Sure. But at least people have time to actually get the game, well, at least they're smart enough to play the game to an extent where it gets flushed out, where people see what the game has to offer, and then they move on to whatever the next game is. Or they go back to whatever regular game plays that they were already doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sample platter, if you will. It's a preview, if you will, of what this game has to offer, what I think about it. And if you guys are interested in playing it, cool. I've already shown you guys for the last couple of days. You know, it's all right. Maybe we'll come back to it at a later time. And then they move back on to their stuff. The same thing, now that same piece of tactic, or not tactic, but that same method of doing something is what DSP likes to accuse other people of being shills, talking billboards. They're not real gamers because they don't play they don't play every game as a playthrough all the way through. Well, that's ironic because how many games on that Xbox Game Pass is he playing all the way through? How about when he had the miniature Sega Genesis or the miniature Nintendo? Or I don't know if you ever got the TurboGrafx 16. But you remember those little gimmick type consoles, let's call it what it is. And how many playthroughs he started with those? How many of them did he finish? Not many. And if I remember correctly, the narrative was those were going to be all downtime playthroughs that would be played on the chill streams. That's what that was supposed to be. And all of that got abandoned as soon as new games popped up. And for all we know, you may never see those things again. So who's the real shill? Who's the real talking head? the walking billboard, if you will. Who's the real hype beast if you think about it? We're talking about a tried and true method that if a streamer wants to continue doing something with any of those games that they're sampling, they can. But DSP shits on all of them, right? Saying that they're all assholes. But when he does it, they all just get burnt out. The moment people stop giving him money, the game gets dropped, or it ends up getting put on the back burner for a later time and date. And then the games that look really, really interesting or really, really fun, oh, I don't want to play those games right now because everybody else is playing those games right now and that doesn't interest me. Then 6 months down the line when he's ready to start playing them, and no one gives him any money, by the way, because that's a thing. I don't understand what the problem is, guys. You guys were asking me for like the last 6 months to play this game. Now I'm playing it. Now no one wants to see it? Yeah, time is a thing, Phil. Time is the ultimate monkey, to say the very least. Oh well. He'll learn one day, but he won't.
Playing chill playthroughs with you. You guys are the core audience. You guys are the ones who chill with me every day, regardless if it's a new release or not, right? But I need to try to grow this channel. I need to try to make it so that this channel, you know, is seeing an increase in support every month to try to get back to where I was on Twitch, because right now I'm not. And that's why every month I have these situations where it's like, oh my God, I have to do an emergency marathon. Oh my God, I need to appeal to you to try to help for this or that. It's because of this. I need to get this channel growing again.
So let's give the piggy translation there. So you guys are here every day with me. You guys have chilled with me on a regular basis. You guys help me get to where I'm at. And I appreciate that. But you guys are broke bitches. And we need to really grow this channel. And we need to get more blood in. We need to get new blood in. Because I need to suckle off something else. And you guys are pretty much all dried up. I appreciate you guys showing up. I really do. I appreciate you guys being walking fucking zombies and showing up every goddamn day. And bleeding your wallets dry. Throwing any type of future ambitions or plans or aspirations away so you can go ahead and fund me and my failures. I appreciate that. But it's not good enough. I need new blood. I need new blood. And we need to grow this channel. And we're going to continue to grow this channel off your back. Hold on a second.
You guys are the ones who chill with me every day, regardless if it's a new release or not, right? But I need to try to grow this channel. I need to try to make it so that this channel, you know, is seeing an increase in support every month to try to get back to where I was on Twitch, because right now I'm not. And that's why every month I have these situations where it's like, oh my God, I have to do an emergency marathon. Oh my God, I need to appeal to you to try to help for this or that. It's because of this. I need to get this channel
You just heard it from the pig snout right then and there. I appreciate you guys coming out. I really do. I really do. It means a lot. You're part of my 13-year legacy. I have built a kingdom, quote unquote, on your skulls, on your bones, on your remains. But now we need to get new suckers in here. We need to get new positive contributors in here so I don't have to punish them like I punished you. I had to hit you guys financially, not because I was angry with you, because I was disappointed. So keep showing up, keep giving me what little money you guys still have left, and keep inflating my numbers so it makes me look more appealing, more appetizing, if you will, to other suckers that I eventually come in and bleed them the exact same way. Yes, I've lied to you. I've lied to you multiple times. I did it to protect myself and my family. Now I have to lie to new people. And you guys are going to help me ensnare those people to do so. If you guys are really loyal to me, if you're really dedicated to me, you'll do so. You won't ask any questions. You won't question the morals or any type of questionable methods that I'm known for doing to make stuff like that happen. You will merely allow it to happen. You will stay silent and just let this happen. What does he say? DSP says that silence is not content, is consent. That's what Phil's basically saying here. Just throwing it out there. That's the way I see it. That's usually the way it happens. Here we go.
I really do feel that in the next few months with the new releases, we should see that, okay? But I definitely need, you know, as much support as I can today, because today is the last streaming day of August for me. I'm not here tomorrow, all right? Today, we need 24 more members of this channel. If we can get 24 members by the end of today, we're going to be doing a Game Pass Marathon on Saturday. Last month when we did the Game Pass Marathon, you guys absolutely loved it. We played about 4 or 5 games, big variety, right? and played each game for roughly about an hour. Got a good taste for some games that I had no idea what the hell they were. I know some of these games you probably would want to see me play again, and others maybe would be totally new games that I've never played before, okay? So I would love to do that. In addition, you guys love the new show, Feasting with the King. So far, I've done 2 different episodes of it, and you guys have absolutely loved Feasting with the King. It's a show where I sit down, and instead of just doing a quick thing where I just take a few bites of a product and review it, instead we have a full meal together. It's a social experience. I have multiple courses usually, or multiple dishes, and I review them live while I eat them. We have fun interactions. We talk. Usually the show's about an hour long, and it's really fun. All right? This time around, fast food is not on the menu. This would be all full-fledged cuisines from full-on restaurants, not just like burgers and stuff. I was thinking the cuisine of the Philippines, maybe some Thai food, maybe some Mexican food. You know, I was thinking 2 or 3, 4 different things we could vote on over the course of this week, and then determine on Saturday morning we could order together and figure out what it's going to be and go from there like we've done. It's been a really great experience. I really like doing this show for you guys. All right?
Yeah, it's been great that I've been able to sit there and stuff my gout and knowing that you idiots paid for this. And as I'm stuffing my gout, right, stuffing my snout to feed my gout, I should say. That sounds better. Not only did you guys pay for us to get to this point, but then as I'm doing it, you guys are going to pay me even more. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a great social experience. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Here's the thing. To be honest, this whole illusion of choice it harkens back to like to like Patreon's choice or viewer's choice. If you guys remember how he used to do shit with Patreon, or even with sub goals on Twitch when he was still making money over there. It was kind of like that. Either which way, no matter what the choice is, quote unquote, he'll always skew it to his advantage. Yes, he's naming all this different cuisine that he could try, but let's be honest, he's gonna go with what he wants at the end of the day, and you guys are just gonna accept it. But it's all just an illusion of choice. It's all it's ever been. It's all it ever will be. How many times can any of you think honestly of him putting something on any type of poll, right, and him actually following through on it? There's very few times that he's done that. And the reason why is because, 1, he didn't like it. And 2, he was waiting, I honestly think, he was waiting for the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics to laugh at him as he fails at doing it. So now he would rather, if he's going to fail at anything, he'll choose what he decides to fail at. Which is kind of fucked up because, yet again, it removes the choice and or options from the very people who brought you to that point. And then all of it, and it's all just double or triple dipping anyway. Make of it what you will.
I've been telling you guys all month, please support the channel. Please, we need to hit this goal, and we haven't hit it. And I even lowered it the other day. Originally, it was 275 members, which I had based on the fact that last month, at the end of the month, we were around 241. So I thought, oh, another 30 over the course of a month would be fine. And then we ended up actually losing members, okay? Now, that obviously sucks. But I can't control that. If there's no new games to bring in people, and it's just the same core people, you know, 200-300 people watching the streams every day, I can't really help that. So, what I will tell you is this. I know for a fact we're going to have more people on stream today than members. I know that. Right now we have 180 people on the stream just for the pre-stream. When the gameplay starts, we usually have around 250. Just that enough? I mean, come on. There's got to be at least 24
sad.
People.
First off, the goal was at 275. He dropped it down to 250. If I remember correctly, after that, he dropped it down to 241. If that's not the next video that we're going to go over, it's the video after. He ends up dropping the goal again, I think, to like 241 after this. So he dropped the damn thing 3 times. Anyway, that which is pathetic in its own right. If you're gonna set a goal, you should stick to it. Period. This is the same guy. Let me give you guys a let me impress this upon you for a second. This is the same guy who used to set goals on Patreon. That hey, if we hit $250 on Patreon, I'll do this goal. If the goal never got hit, sorry guys, we can do the goal next month. But hopefully you guys hit it. Hit that goal, because if not, I can't give you guys the goal, because then no one will ever take it seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't reward you guys for not hitting a goal. Oh, well, what happened? What about the money that you did get, Phil? That's part of you helping me with the content. That's you helping me stay here and continue to do what I love. Well, but we're not getting anything out of it like that, Phil. Yeah, you are. You're getting to come here every day and watch me play games and have a good time. Well, we were only off by like $10 or $15. Well, I can't go ahead and change the rules just because you guys didn't hit the goal. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to everybody else who really wanted the goal. So you're just going to pocket the money and that's it. Idiot, didn't I just tell you that I use this money to continue to keep my bills going? To keep the business going? What the fuck, man? Anyway, ban his ass. So, like I said, this is a con game that Phil's been doing, has been doing for a long ass time. A really, really long time. Let me impress something else on you. Go back to Project 7 and that scam that he pulled. He sat there and requested all of that money, allegedly worked on it for months at a time, and never did anything. Even took a quote-unquote extra day off a week so he could work on Project 7. Come to find out, he never worked on the damn thing. And when Street Fighter V came out, which for whatever absolutely exceptional reason, he thought that Street Fighter V was going to be the rebirth of Super Turbo. So he dropped his Project 7 commitment, right, to go ahead and play Street Fighter V. Ends up hating it after a year or so, maybe even before the year was even up, and Rip just walked away and has been called a con artist, a con man, a liar, and a thief. Well, he was called some of that before then, but he's been called that ever since, and has the nerve to justify that with, oh, only one person was mad. No one else was mad. Really? No one else was mad? You're talking about all those viewers and all those people who are saying that, hey, if you're not going to come through with this, I'm not coming back, Phil, because I trusted you. I even donated, not me, because I wouldn't do something stupid like this, but he had people who said they even donated to the highest tip goal so they could actually be part of Project 7. Oh, well, sorry guys, I have to drop Project 7. The planets had aligned and said that I shouldn't do this. But you can go ahead and join the Thanksgiving or the Christmas special if you want. Even though those weren't the draws. Project 7 was the draw. You giving them some bullshit consolation prize is almost the equivalent, to when he had the situation with, what was that? With Mario Sunshine. If you guys remember that. I'll be really brief about that because I've gone over that before and I plan to go over that on stream at a later time and date. To make a long story short, I think that was a Patreon goal too, actually, where it was a patron's choice to play Mario Sunshine. That was one of the games that was nominated, I should say. It was the game that actually won. And I think Spyro ended up winning second. And he said that he couldn't play it because, one, at that time, he couldn't monetize Nintendo... how do I word this? He couldn't monetize Nintendo content on YouTube at that time. Okay? So, and then the second part of that was he was already playing Mario Galaxy, or no, Mario Odyssey, and he was playing Mario plus Rabbids at the same time. So he was already playing 2 Mario games, and then a third one won, and he got pissed off because he wasn't going to be able to monetize any of it on YouTube, but he was making money off of it on stream. So he said, I'll give you guys Spiral, we'll play that, and then I'll play Mario Sunshine somewhere down the line. And he put that off for months upon months upon months. And in truth, he was going to pocket that $1,250, give them that one playthrough, and then be like, oh, there you go. I'm already playing 2 Mario games, plus I'm giving you, I'm still playing a game. I'm still playing a game for the patron's choice. What are you guys complaining about? But a bunch of good Samaritans went ahead and stayed on his ass. Well, stayed on his fan base's ass, to be honest, which in turn they stayed on his ass, and eventually he had to play it, begrudgingly. And, well, I won't get into that, but there's so many stipulations, or there were so many circumstances floating around that situation that you clearly knew he wasn't going to play that game. He clearly did not want to play that game. He didn't have the peripherals together for it. He needed all kinds of stuff to make that happen. He had to spend, if I remember correctly, he had to spend something like $130, $145 to make that playthrough go. And he didn't want to spend it. He already got the $1,250, but he didn't want to spend an additional $135 or $145 out of that to make that happen. That's how funny that shit was.
There who aren't members. You know what I'm saying? And here's what's going to happen. If there's a member and we start to see that number go up, then another person will be more inclined to become a channel member, and then another, and then another. That's how it happens. It all starts with that first one, and the next thing you know, it starts a movement. People, oh man, we're actually getting close. We can hit it. And then some people will start joining to the fact, boom, we can hit it. I firmly believe we can hit this goal by the end of today. I 100% believe we can do that. All right? So let's get it going. Please. Let's do it, all right? I would love to do this marathon on Saturday. I would love to do Feasting with the King. It would be a really good thing. It would. I would be very excited to do this. So let's make it happen. Please, guys, consider becoming a member. What do you think?
Now, granted, we said this in an earlier video where if it's a marathon, he's rewarding them, right? And that's what he's trying to do here. He's trying to set up the scenario where, hey, you guys come through with 24 more subs, and I can reward you with a marathon. But if you guys fail me, right, because you guys have already failed me twice, because, yet again, the goal was 275, then he had to drop it down to 250, and if I remember correctly, it ends up getting dropped down to like 241, some nonsense like that. It's going to end up turning into a fundraiser, and I'm going to have to punish you. That's so he's literally pleading with them to be like, hey, come through for me on this. Let's have this marathon. Let's have a good time. If not, I'm going to have to beat you. I'm going to have to beat you guys financially. You guys don't really want me to do that, do you? Let's go ahead, get these numbers up, and attract new people or ensnare new people to come in and act like we're actually having a good time doing all this bullshit. And then they can come into the Toxic Toilet Bowl, which is the Gowdy universe, or the Gowdy sphere. You guys need to step the fuck up. Now, granted, was he expecting these people to make multiple sock accounts on YouTube and then sub through those multiple sock accounts? I am, first things first, mark my words. Mark it on your calendar, your digital calendar. October 21st or 20th or 21st, at least the 22nd. Those are going to be the 2 or 3 days that you guys need to watch out for. Because if Phil comes on stream if Phil shows up on stream extremely happy one of those 3 days, right? And he's talking about Twitch, but he's talking about them in a better light, right? Or if he seems a little bit more cheerful on Twitter or some nonsense, he's more than likely going back to Twitch. And he might go back to Twitch literally the day of the Halloween marathon and get back and hope that people will come through with the gifted subs and all of that stuff. It would be dumb for him to jump back on Twitch the day of. The day that they allow him to come back into their affiliates program, it would be stupid for him to go back that day. It would be dumb. Because then he would have lied to all these people, which is nothing different anyway. But there'd be no need to do that. It's best to wait till the end of the month. And I think that's what he's going to do. Matter of fact, let me lay out the plan to you right now. Like I said, October 20th, 21st, 22nd. Those are the 3 days. If he gets back into the affiliates program, which I'm sure he's already applied, but he might actually have to apply right at the 6-month mark. I don't know how that works. But let's say that's the case. And they let him back in for whatever reason. It's smarter for DSP to go ahead and continue to stay on YouTube and bleed the rest of the pay pigs out for the end of October. But when the 31st of October comes up, jump back over to Twitch. Because by then he would have already had all their money. He would have already bled them for the month. Now, back on Twitch, the membership goal on YouTube, that's over there on YouTube. We're not worried about that now. We got no subs, we got no memberships. Go ahead, guys. Start using your Prime subs. Start gifting. We're starting off fresh here. You know what I'm saying? And then I was gonna save this for the stream, but I'll just go ahead and let it out the bag now. Let's let Jasper out of the bag right now. I think he's gonna try to say something along the lines that, well, Twitch apologized to me, and that's why I'm coming back. Well, wait, Phil. You said you were never going back to them. That's a bad business. Whoa, 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 whoa. I said unless they change their management, and he did say this. Unless they change their management practices, I'm not going back. That was his leeway. Now, I don't know when you guys are going to actually hear this, but certainly he said that at least a few times up until the time I'm listening to it, or I've heard it. So certainly by now you guys have heard him say something along the lines. It's typical semantics type shit. It's talking out of one snout and coming into one snout, talking out of the other. So that's his way in, essentially. Once he's in there, he's going to say they apologized to him. Now, clearly, Twitch is not going to send any written apology to him. If they let him back into the affiliates program, they just let him back in. But, and when people make that argument that, oh, they didn't actually apologize to you, Phil, that doesn't make any sense. They never reached out to you on Twitter. If there's a letter, say so. Dude, they did apologize. And the proof of that is I'm here, am I? Or aren't I? I'm back on Twitch. They wouldn't have let me back on Twitch if they didn't see that they were wrong. So why don't you just shut the fuck up? I'm back on Twitch. I want to be positive this time. We can make this work, okay? Twitch has realized that they were wrong, and, you know, we're just going to move forward, okay? We tried the YouTube experiment for 6 months. It didn't work. And yes, even though YouTube is trying to implement things to be like Twitch, they are not Twitch. And I cannot sustain my business over there doing what I was doing. It has to be on Twitch, okay? YouTube is an archive channel. YouTube is for content creators and whatnot, but Twitch is for streamers. And I am a fully interactive streamer. I am all in, and I have to do what I have to keep the business going. I guarantee you it's going to sound something along those lines. I guarantee you, using vernacular that he already uses, it's probably going to sound just like that. So that's what the situation is. So like I said, 20th, 21st, 22nd of October, 2021 is going to be, that's going to be a real interesting 72 hours, to say the very least. And if he's smart, he's not going to announce anything. But he is going to be happy, though. He's going to be overly cheerful. And not like usual where he's been drinking and you can tell he's buzzed. I mean, he's going to be, rather enthusiastic about it. Even though at the time that I'm recording, it's there is talk of YouTube actually trying to implement a gifted memberships type program. So that's a thing. Now, granted, if he goes back to Twitch, and for any DSP fanboys or for DSP himself, what you need to do, DSP, is stop your bullshitting. Put the comments back on, right? And then there's a, I think there's like a thank me button up there or something. For people who are monetized, they know. But there's like a thank you type option down there with the likes, dislikes, and all that shit. And that's strictly for people who put up videos. You say that this is an archive, right? You say people really appreciate the archive and they can't, you know, they don't have good enough internet to be on Twitch, so they watch you on YouTube. Then why don't you open that part up, or that section, or that avenue, if you will, of revenue, and let people contribute to you there? Not memberships. Well, yeah, you can do channel memberships too, actually. Or no, you need to be streaming when you do that. I can't remember if it was Gunslinger or Playing with Your Beliefs was telling me about that. I can't remember now. But I think you can I think you can still have channel memberships and not stream. I think that's just something you can do. Yeah. I'm thinking of Super Chats, my bad. I'm thinking of Super Chats. So yeah, so he should open up memberships, and then there's the thank me button. Once that's fully initiated, I should say, he should go ahead and just have those on his videos. But I think he needs to open his comment section up, because if he does that, that pushes engagement. I've told you that shit for years, so you guys already know what I'm talking about when it comes to engagement. But that would push engagement, and even if it's the troll dollar, quote unquote, he might as well collect on it. So those are just my recommendations. That's me being a good pig scout. Bacon scout. That's what it is. It's me being a good bacon scout.
Becoming a channel member, you get tons of benefits. First of all, your name is highlighted in the chat. It's a nice green color. You don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat. Right now, the chat is set up. You can only say one message every 10 seconds to avoid spam. If you become a channel member, you can avoid that and talk as much as you want. Okay? You get a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a channel supporter. All right? And coming up in October, we're actually going to have people hitting the 6-month mark. There's going to have this nice ruby and emerald encrusted crown for people who've been members all along. You start out with bronze, then you hit silver, then you get gold, and you get the nice gems in there. So that's a cool benefit. And of course, you get access to all of the emotes.
Okay, sorry. Some of the goals already sound like shit, but the main one I want to point out is that whole 10-second delay between chatting. This is somebody, ladies and gentlemen, who has complained that there was nobody speaking in chat. Not just to him, but to each other. So what's the point of having a 10-minute delay initiated on the regular chatters? That might explain, well, outside of the shit being incredibly boring, that might explain why no one's talking. That might explain quite a bit. That right there is not, that shouldn't be a privilege like that. And now that I think about it, isn't there like a membership chat where like only people who are members of a channel can only speak to each other? Isn't that a thing? So why isn't he pushing that narrative? Like, let's be honest, the regular chat on DSP's channel is just as dead as his comment section. So if he's really trying to build hype, quote unquote, he should just initiate the membership only chat. This 24-hour nonsense is stupid. It was just another dumbass con to try to get him to 200,000 subs on YouTube, which is a joke in itself and pathetic. So why not just initiate membership chat? And if people really want to conversate, they would donate. They would be a member. They would become a member. Why not just do that? Okay.
19 emotes and counting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first new member of the day, Lennon McCarthy 2.0. All right, this is how it begins, I'm telling you. So now we're at 227. Now we only need 23 more. And again, let's get the movement going. I know we can do this today. I know by the end of today we can hit 250 and we can do this marathon on Saturday. I want to do it badly, but I got to stick to my guns here. Because the thing is, if I just cave and I'm like, oh, we'll do the marathon anyway, then what? There's no motivation. You know what I'm saying? There's no motivation for anyone to become a channel member and contribute and grow the channel. So I got to stick to my guns on this one. All right? I want to do the marathon. I'm ramped to do it. I know exactly the kind of stuff I want to do for the Feasting with the King, but we got to make it happen. Thank you very much, Lennon, for the very first membership. Let's keep that movement going now. Okay? 23 to go. If you notice, I frequently mention this during today's stream. There's a good reason, because I know for a fact there's people here who could join and have been holding out. You know, some people have said, well, we're holding out because next month, you mentioned, there's going to be a Halloween goal. You're right. But the thing is, the Halloween goal will be based on...
I thought contributions weren't necessary, or not mandatory, I should say. That's the proper term. I thought contributions were not mandatory. So, who comes out of their face and says, you guys are holding out on me? Doesn't that sound like he believes that you owe him? You owe him something if you're holding out on him? You guys are supposed to be paying your tithes, paying your dues, and you're holding out on me. It doesn't sound like someone who's like, hey, please join the channel. Please, you know, allow us to grow this community together and build something, right? Instead of us being known for destroying everything, which is what DSP does. He doesn't build anything. He's never built anything. He only destroys, which is ironic in a lot of ways, and rather poetic. And really more so than ironic. It's more poetic, to say the very least, because he's someone who's tried so hard to build himself up to be something important, to be someone useful, to be someone to be admired. And as he's done that, he has simultaneously destroyed himself and destroyed all of those same qualities at the exact same time. Damn. Anywho, yeah, what nerve do you have to say that people are holding out on you? They don't owe you anything. So how are they holding out on you? I wish someone would have called him out on that when he said it.
How we're doing. So don't worry. Like, some people are like, oh, I don't want to become a member today. I want to do it in September. Why? You understand, if you're a member today, that also makes our goal go up, in which case it's helping for the September goal anyway. But anyway, you know, some people, I don't know. They want, you know, they think specifically about like a one-to-one transaction when it's really not how this works. Okay, so thank you, Lennon.
Wait. Didn't we just come off of saying, hey, there's all these different benefits and amenities, if you will, for becoming a channel member But then he's saying, oh, that people are thinking this is a one-to-one transaction. Well, yeah, Phil, they're putting their money down with the idea of getting something in return, which is the reason why, if I remember correctly, because I remember someone was talking about this in like a screenshot or some shit, that they didn't see the need to donate to him on YouTube, or there wasn't as much incentive, I should say, to donating to him on YouTube as there were on Twitch, because there were certain things on Twitch they got, or that they were getting on a regular basis, that they didn't only have to use on DSP's content. They could have taken it to other places as well. So there was way more value, if you will. Is that what he's leading into? All right, well, let's continue. But let's continue. But no one should expect anybody else to throw money at you mindlessly, or throw money at them, I should say, mindlessly. That just seems stupid. You should be able to get something from your money. You should be able to recoup in some way, shape, or form. But let's continue. I'm sorry.
Channel member. All right, let's get people motivated. Come on, join the channel, support the channel. Let's get a marathon this Saturday. I'm really excited for it. Okay, fair enough. All right, good. Now, conclusion of Fallout New Vegas today should be exciting. I hope you guys are excited for that. However, I also hope, especially if you have not done so yet, that you will come back tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. And I hope that you will check out my stream of Psychonauts 2. Alright? Most people sadly have written this game off. From what I'm understanding, there's multiple reasons why this is happening. First of all, the game is a sequel to a game from the mid-2000s that most people just don't even remember. Okay? Just being honest. Most people probably don't remember this game at all. And since that's the case, you know, they're kind of on the fence about trying it out. They're like, man, if I don't understand the plot of the original game, I didn't play the original game, it's so old, would I even be interested in this game? That's number one. Number two, the game plays like a game from the mid-2000s. I'll be very honest with you, the gameplay itself feels like an old-school platformer. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. The gameplay is polished and fun, but obviously, people are so used to modernized games that hold your hand and do everything so easily.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear this bullshit. A couple of reasons for that. One, he has shitted on older games, right, that other content creators were playing and building a lot of hype around, and saying that, oh, why would I want to do that? I've never played any game from that series. I don't care. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. Fuck that game. Don't recommend it to me because I don't want to play it. Two, oh, well, Phil, the controls and everything are still very fluent. They're no different than some of the older games that you like playing, or you try to pass off on us and want us to support. Why don't you give this a try? I don't care. I don't care. That's exactly what he said. I don't care. So don't recommend any of that shit to me. I don't give a shit. The next thing is the whole modernizing of the game and how people need checkpoints and all this bullshit or whatever. He's someone who's dependent on that. We saw that in 2020 with on the Switch, for example, with the rewind feature, with the with the save states and all that. We saw him abuse the shit out of those features. If nothing else, to be honest, a lot of people believe the reason why he goes after certain games is because he's looking for those type of features. You know what I'm saying? Here's how the analogy was explained to me. This is how, when someone reached out to me and kind of peeped me on game, if you will, or put me on game. It goes back to Phil's natural frustration when it comes to redoing a part in the game, right? Because, you know, Phil has this whole, let's look at this from a bigger picture. Phil looks at this whole streaming nonsense like a job. Like a 9-to-5 job. That's how he treats it. The problem with treating it like a 9-to-5 job is when he has to redo a part, it's like he failed at a project and now he has to redo the project all over again. And because of that, all the frustration and anxiety, if you want to say that, and everything else kind of comes along with it. So Phil gets more and more pissed off the more he has to fix these mistakes. And the reason why he has to fix these mistakes is because he has to accept the fact that he has made a mistake. And it's out there, it's happening in real time. Hey, you fucked up, which is the reason why you're back to square one. Do it again, bitch. Up, you fucked up, do it again, bitch. Up, you fucked up, Do it again, bitch. Instead of progressing and moving on to the next section and moving along through the game. And with that type of mentality, he's dependent on save states and rewind features and checkpoints and all of that. But also, this goes back to the GDC, the Game Developers Conference, whatever one it was that people discovered, where he was playing the new God of War, and the developer was up there on the podium, and they were using DSP's footage, and he was trying to explain how games need to have certain things implemented to keep the player playing, if you will, right? Same concept as it pertains to streaming and whatnot. For people like Phil, they need instant gratification. Some of you already know where I'm going with this. They need instant gratification. They need to be able to work towards something in the short term to keep them playing in the long term. Whatever shiny little trinket, whatever little bullshit upgrade, whatever little secret thing the game has, it has to be readily available, it has to be in their face, and they have to be directed to get it. Theoretically, he looks at this whole streaming thing or content creation as the exact same shit. He has to constantly be propelling forward to keep him motivated to keep going. He doesn't want struggle. He doesn't want to have to overcome anything with actual work. It has to be easy. It has to be simple. He has to be handheld. So the fact that he has the nerve to say that other people are skipping out on this game because they think it's too hard or it's not modern, it doesn't have a modern feel to it or whatever, is absolute bullshit when those are the exact same excuses that he used for not playing certain games as well. He's basically trying to sit here and say people need to be more open-minded when it comes to these older games, even though he's not like that. He's not open-minded. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't give every, retro game a chance. He doesn't give every new game with a retro feel a chance. So how are you going to sit there and tell other people to do that? That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit.
A lot of people may actually feel that it's maybe a little bit too outdated. Okay? And then, of course, the trifecta here, the game had little to no marketing at all. Like, we knew it was coming out, but was there any hoopla about it? Did you see any advertisement on the internet? Did you see anyone actually, promoting the game? I didn't. What's crazy about it is that it's a Game Pass game. And most Game Pass games get a bunch of hype when they release. For some odd reason, Psychonauts 2 did not. I don't know why it didn't.
That's funny, because doesn't he complain about the whole hype beast mentality also? About how companies need to have the streamers in pocket, need to have the YouTubers in pocket, have to throw millions of dollars into advertising just to get their games over? Doesn't he complain about all three of those things? That trifecta, if you will? Yeah, he does. And then he's like, oh, well, all these other games on Game Pass got promotion. Why didn't this game get promotion? Well, maybe because all those other games got promotion, which caused people, or may have enticed people, I should say, to getting Game Pass. And then those people were expected, let's be honest, were expected to go through the catalog and see what else was available to them. Maybe that's why. Because it seems like a waste of money trying to market every fucking game on Game Pass. That seems kind of stupid. It's better to go ahead and market certain games and then hope that people would be, well, not hoping is being a bit more, let's reword that. It's better to promote certain titles with the expectation that gamers will be looking for something else to play as well, in another genre or whatever the case may be. And they'll flip through the catalog and see what Game Pass has to offer. So there's no need to promote every fucking game. That seems like a waste. They would actually lose money, I would think. I'm not sure if they're losing money on Game Pass now. I would assume there's some type of loss to be had, but they expect to recoup that in the long term. I'm surprised he didn't think about that either. But yet again, that's him thinking like an employee and not thinking like a manager, not thinking like an owner, not thinking like a boss. You get what you pay for, or what you snort for.
And most other Game Pass games do get this hype behind them. And for some odd reason, no one is really talking about Psychonauts 2. And that blows my mind. Because the game is really good, in my opinion. Like, I really am enjoying the game. I'm having a good time with it. And as I've told you guys, being very honest with you, I honestly feel that Psychonauts 2 could end up being one of my favorite games of the year. I'm kind of in that mentality that I feel that it actually could be one of the best games of 2021. Okay? Hold on. Looks like all my stuff's going to time out again and make me re-verify it. This is so dumb. It's doing it again. Stupid Google verification. It does this like 1 to 2 times a month. And all my stuff logs out, and then it forces me to log back in again. So please bear with me here while I do this. How frustrating.
I'm sure verifying isn't going to come back to bite him in the ass at one day, one time in the near future, I'm sure. Imagine that.
Okay. So dumb. All right, now it's updating, and I'm gonna end up having to do this on my laptop as well. It's inevitable; they're gonna force me to do it. Once it happens on the desktop, then it takes a few minutes. Then it happens on the laptop. So I might as well just push it now. Let's see here if I can get it to trigger on my laptop as well. That way, I just get it over with. No, it's not triggering on the laptop right now. All right, I'll have to wait a few minutes. Probably later today, what's going to happen is all of a sudden, my stream chat's going to completely freeze. And I'm going to be like, why? Why can't I talk to you guys? What's going on? And it's going to actually be because YouTube is forcing a verification, which is really dumb, but yeah. Anyway, I'm certainly excited for that.
Yes, it's very dumb that YouTube and or Google and Alphabet by just general design is trying to look out for you and your safety. Yes, it's very stupid that you would be prompt like that. Just like when Windows tells you to update to engage with their updates so they can better, help with security and whatnot. Yeah, that's stupid too. It's a waste of time. I'm running a business, dude. I don't have time to do stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, you certainly don't.
All right. But we got to get there. Let's have a fun week before that, all right? So that's what's in store, all right? Now, one final time, please, guys, if you're not a channel member, please stop holding out. I need 23 more members by the end of today to hit this marathon goal, do the fun marathon with Feasting with the King on this weekend coming up. I would love to do it. I want to do it, but I have to stick to my guns, and I have to say we're only doing it if we hit the goal. I have to, or else what's the point, right? What's the point of even having goals? What's the point of having these drives and these rewards if I'm just going to do it anyway, right? So we got to hit it. So please consider becoming a channel member. If you're not, there's so many benefits. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, there's other ways that you can.
How are you going to tell people to consider becoming members when you're sitting there telling them that stop holding out on you? God damn, more than double speak. That's bullshit. So bullshit. That's what I mean about how he snorts out of one side of his snout and then does the same thing out of the other side. That's bullshit. You can't sit there and say that. Don't hold out on me. Consider becoming a member. You can't do that. You can't make two statements like that and expect someone to look at that in a positive manner, which is even more ironic because DSP don't know jack shit about being positive. He doesn't know jack shit about being positive. He doesn't know how to inspire people. He hasn't done any dumb shit like that since like the 2010s. I mean, maybe 2013, 2014 was the last time he was able to inspire people to do shit. Other than that, it was always sob stories. It was always emergency type situations. It's help guys, help's needed, yada, 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 yada. If you want to look for the real drama type videos that are on any of his channels, look for that. Alert, help, emergency. Look for those buzzwords and see what comes up. And you'll find the majority of his begging videos or whatever. It's always been like that. He's never been able to inspire positivity. It's always some type of false flag type bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's always that. There's always some type of crisis. There's always some type of emergency. There's always some type of incident that's looking to jeopardize his business. That's how he's rallied support. He's done that pretty much his entire YouTube career. Almost his entire online career. He couldn't pull that shit in the FGC because it was stupid, and he was quick to threaten to fight people over the dumbest crap. And then when it was time to put up or shut up, he went into the corner and sat in a puddle of his own piss.
You can do a super chat or a super sticker. You can tip me. All those things are great. Tipping in particular is the best way to support the channel because when you tip me, I get those funds immediately to put towards important things. For example, tomorrow's my day off. I got to go grocery shopping. We actually have to do a supply run because now, the past couple of weeks, we've been so busy with appointments and the like that when we've been out, we haven't really had a chance to do much of the stuff that we usually do. So we got to go. I think we're going to be going. I wanted to go to Costco, but I don't think we can afford it. I was thinking about, I was like, I got to renew my Costco membership, and that's expensive. I know it is. Like, I haven't renewed it this year, and I know it must have expired by now because I haven't been there since early this year. So I want to go, but I don't think we can even go. So we might end up having to go somewhere else to try to like do some supply runs or whatever. But
supply runs. So I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess you could say toiletries, cleaning supplies. You could say it's any of those things. But then again, coming off of the Jasper urinary tract infection, X to doubt. It's August, right? So you're thinking about, you're saying you want to go to Costco, but you haven't been to Costco since the beginning of the year, and you haven't renewed your membership. So why would Costco even be a thing? And if you don't have the money to renew the membership, why doesn't Catherine just throw the money up and you pay her back? And then you buy the groceries. Sorry, you buy the supplies. It's funny because, Phil, marriage is supposed to be a partnership, right? You two come together as a team. It's you guys against the world, essentially. and you guys are supposed to make it happen. One is supposed to cover for the other person's weaknesses, and you're supposed to be, and both of you are supposed to be a source of strength for each other. That's how a relationship works. Now, if you guys are fucking roommates, then we have a different story. Just throwing it out there.
anyway, tomorrow's gonna be a very busy day for us, and your tips help me with that. Your tips are gonna help me to have a nice day out with my wife. Enjoy dinner somewhere. I don't know where, but we're gonna go out and have dinner somewhere. You know, so
now,
thank
wait,
you in advance to.
We're gonna put going out, sitting down and having dinner somewhere. That's the priority over getting a Costco card that will be good for the entire year, and you can purchase things in bulk that will save you more money in the long run. Think about that. He would rather spend $100 on din-din, right, with him and my wife, instead of looking towards the future, putting off going out to eat until maybe next week, and getting that Costco membership. And didn't he say that him and Catherine love, whatever, a lot of the meals that they have at Costco, like they're really big on their roasted chicken and then some of their other ready-made meals. So why don't they just purchase that and cook it when they get home? Or heat it up, I should say. Oh, well, you would think for someone who's in financial straits, he would think, he'd be able to think, he would have a bit more forward thinking. But then we're talking about Phil Burdell. Whole bloodline's a failure, apparently.
Anyone who contributes in any way today, but in particular, if you do tip me today, there are reward goals in effect. If you tip me, if we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my Gunner glasses, okay? If we raise $100 in tips, I will put on a vest of your choice. The vests today include, excuse me, the blue, the platinum, the denim, and the gold. That is right. I'm bringing back the platinum for today. Even though the platinum makes me sweat profusely, and I don't like wearing it, I'm bringing it back today anyway. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Also, if we raise $150 in tips,
so
the goal for this,
instead of this idiot just taking a shower like everybody else, I would rather avoid it. I would rather avoid wearing that vest. I really need this money, though, supposedly, right? To have a nice day out with my wife and to pick up supplies and everything. And Lord knows that people have to go out and get a job where they may have to perspire a little bit, right? Whether from stress, whether because you're doing physical labor, whatever the case may be. But I shouldn't have to do that because I should be able to just sit at home and play video games and get drunk whenever the fuck I feel like. But I'll put it out there today. I'll put out the platinum vest on today because I'm desperate. Wow. Well, you see what pigs can do.
Dream. I'll put on a hat of your choice. All the hats are eligible at this point. It's going to be the digital camo, the military style, the platinum fake hair with the, the platinum tips, fake hair hat, or the camo boonie hat, all right? I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little disappointed with the reaction to the hats because people seem to like them, but we haven't really hit a tips goal in days. And people were basically telling me the reason that we weren't hitting the tips goals is because there wasn't enough motivation, that I should buy hats to motivate people. So I did, and it doesn't seem to have changed anything. All right, I'm just being honest here. I'm not upset that people aren't contributing enough for anything. I'm just saying, like, I was directly told something by the audience. They were like, hey, Phil, we're tired of the cowboy hat. Take it out of the rotation. Get other hats. So I did, and you guys telling me you like them, and particularly you think the military hat is silly as shit. But then,
That's not true.
we're not hitting the...
First off and foremost, people have been telling him to get new hats since Vest Streak, if I remember correctly, the first one. That was over a year ago. Which goes back to what we talked about earlier, how about Phil will get recommended something, put it off for like 6 fucking months, then do it, and then get mad because no one supports it. This is actually a prime example of it right here. People have been asking for new hats since the Vest Streak. So, rip to that. 2, if people love the hat so much, or even like the hat so much, then why haven't you guys hit the tips goal in days? It's almost like they don't really like them. And then the Nazi hat, aren't you the one who sits there and bitches and complains about no one's voting for it on the Street Fighter streams? Aren't you the one who's complaining about that shit? More importantly than that, when people called it the Nazi hat, essentially all you had to do was sit there and roll with it. Instead, you chose to be a bitch about it, and you took something personally, and by proxy, you end up making it personal. So now, people go ahead and move the way they want to move. Since that's the situation, no one feels the need to support it. And here's the thing that's really funny. In him taking it so personal about that fucking dictator hat or Nazi hat or whatever you want to call it, he basically killed any type of vibe for any of the other ones as well. So yet again, in typical Dark Side Phil fashion, DSP fuck DSP. As he always does. Wow. It's not like no one saw that coming. And let's be honest, the hats are lame as fuck anyway. It'd be different if when he was initially talking about buying these hats or having them donated or whatever the bullshit story is, okay? Whatever the snort of the tape is. If he had actually allowed people to vote on what hats were being bought, then people would be invested, no pun intended, would be invested on the idea of contributing to those hats. Hey, we helped choose that hat to be bought, so now I'm more invested in it to see it get hit for the tips goal. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm willing to contribute to the tips goal to see that hat be worn. It works kind of like that. And if he wasn't such a bitch and just allowed every vest to be available every fucking day, then the hat goal would probably be, or however the variation is swapped up, would also not seem more obtainable, but people might be more willing to actually contribute to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cutting off options on what vest can be worn and all this bullshit is stupid. If people want to play Mr. Potato Head, then all the accessories should be available to them, to make a long story short. Okay? Since I was the one who kind of started that joke, I might as well just go along with it. If people want to play dress up Mr. Potato Head, all the accessories should be available. If everybody wants to create their own clown or dress up the pig or whatever, all the accessories should be available. This whole nonsense about, oh, this vest isn't available, this vest isn't available, we wore this hat on the last stream, so now you guys can only pick for those. That's stupid. That's stupid as fuck. Also, you can have some pathetic sense of control. And now you're bitching and complaining about how none of the goals have been hit. Sounds like a Phil Burnell problem, if you ask me.
Go. So, what I'm going to do, as I told you guys, moving forward later this year, as it gets cooler, I'm going to actually be getting more hats that are kind of, you know, more comfortable to wear when the weather is cooler. Right now, it's still 80 plus degrees in the office unless I turn the air conditioner on. Give it another month as the temperatures here dip in Washington and it starts to rain all the time and cool down the state, then it would probably be way more appropriate to be wearing like a heavier hat. Okay, but I can't do it now. I'd be overheating. Also, keep in mind, in October, I'm going to be getting a new headset that hopefully it works right. It's a wireless headset from Hori, which is the same manufacturer that made the the Pad Pro for the Switch, as well as my joystick that I've now been using for a good 6 years for fighting games. They're a really good accessory manufacturer, and they made wireless headphones that go around your neck, not on your ears. So if they work well, then I won't have to have anything on my head, and I could wear whatever the hell kind of hat I wear. You know, I wouldn't even be limited by headphone use or anything like that. Okay? Pretty good. So anyway, I digress, guys. Please support the stream today if you can. If you can become a channel member, please do. We need 23 more. Like I said, once people start becoming members, I feel it'll kind of coerce more people to do it because they'll see, oh, I see that one person did it. Well, now we're getting close. Now I'll jump in too, and we'll have this movement to try to hit the goal by the end of the day. And I really feel we can. But also, please tip me if you can. Tipping helps tremendously. In particular, with my day off tomorrow, it would help a lot. Okay, guys? All right. Let me say
Why does he make it sound like having people contribute? Let me reword that. He makes it out like people need to essentially be tricked, conned, or strong-armed into supporting him. Why do you do that? And why do you think new people would be willing to contribute to that if they need to be tricked or coerced into doing shit? That seems, it just comes across as being dishonest. Extremely dishonest. No one should feel tricked or be tricked into trying to help you, or strong-armed, if you will. This is basically extortion, essentially. God damn, dude.
Cato the Elder, I understand you've been doing a meme for 2-3 days now in my chat. And, you know, I put up with it to some extent. But at this point, your meme is starting to really wear itself thin. Like, you say the same thing every day, all day long. It's funny the first time you say it each day. And then when you say it the 77th time, it's really annoying and just really troublesome and bothersome and boring. All right? Either get a new shtick or cut it out. And that's going to be your one warning. All right? To Cato the Elder. I think it's time for us to shut up about the stupid meme. I don't know why people think that my stream is some kind of a meme box for them to come in here and start spewing nonsense. It ain't. Okay? There's no reason to be doing this in here. Like I said, there's a difference between a meme that's a running meme that's funny and a meme that you beat the dead horse into a pulp. Like, I'll give you an example. CM Fool would come in here. Now, he hasn't been here in a long time. I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's okay. But he would come in here and he'd make a joke about the Quiet Man, or he'd make a joke about, you know, a particular thing. And he'd make the joke once or twice a day, and that would be it. It'd be funny. We'd all laugh. He's like, man, he got me again with that joke. Hilarious. You literally come in here and every 10 seconds you say the same thing. Boring. You are boring. All right? It was funny the first time, not the 100th time. So, you know, use your brain here. Cut it out.
You got a boring person telling another person they're boring. Even though you're the one who can't get people to contribute to the fundraiser / marathon, right? You can't seem to convince people to support the membership goal. You can't convince people to give to the tip goal. You're cutting people off from playing Mr. Potato Head or to dressing up the clown. Like, this is certainly, this is a really good example of this is how you don't pay. Like, this is really what it comes down to. At the end of the day, why are you put so much emphasis on what that person's saying anyway? Who gives a shit? Why are you so bothered by it? Just move on. This is why people this is why DSP can't connect with people. Because he tries to put himself, or he tries to elevate himself on this level where he's above all of them. And yet, at the same time, he can't relate to any of them either. Because he doesn't have any interests, he doesn't have any hobbies, he doesn't have any goals. The man has no life ambitions whatsoever. Not one. He has no future plans of what he wants to do in 5 years, 10 years, 3 years. He doesn't watch any sports. He doesn't have any real hobbies. Yeah, wrestling. But even then, he doesn't want to talk about that because he's scared of getting memed out. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't even watch anything that's interesting to even speak of. If that was the case, he would do it. Instead, he's so desperate to be looked at as a pillar in the gaming community that he just wants to keep up with essentially second, third, or fourth-hand gaming news, which is dumb. There are apps, for example, here, let me throw you a bone, Phil. There's an app out there that you can find on, I'm pretty sure it's on Apple, but I know for sure that it's definitely on Android, and you can find it on Windows, which is, it's called Flipboard, and it gives you a couple of different, it's one of those mini news sites out there, or news apps, where you can pick your categories, and then they compile everything together to you. Usually by the minute, if not by the hour. They pull from multiple different sources. I like Flipboard of one of many because I use a bunch of them. But it's easily compiled, Phil. It's something that you can use on a regular basis. You can use it literally by the hour instead of you getting information off fucking Twitter. It's just, it paints the story out a little bit better for you instead of you regurgitating someone else's post. If you do that, it might get you a little further. Plus, it also has, there are certain extensions or whatever to other articles and whatnot that you could also read up on. They're literally 2 or 3 minute reads. Even you can handle that. Even your attention span can hold that. And maybe you could get a little further. And that's just one of many. So maybe it's something you might want to consider. Because let's be honest, you don't really have a take on anything. It's funny because back in 2017, he used to shit on people who all had like that sheeple type mentality where they only follow the trends. And now look at him. He's the exact same way. He used to shit on people who took reviews from influencers and made that their frame of thought. Now he literally bases any and all games that he plays based on what influencers are saying. Just about. Damn, times have changed. Or desperation. Whichever one smells the worst.
Jerk. I don't want to be a jerk. I just want to be nice. And I've been trying to be nice to this guy, but, you know. See, and here's the thing. See what Jerk calls us, then ban Turtle Dude, too. Turtle Dude doesn't do the same thing constantly. He comes in, he'll talk about turtles a little bit. He'll joke around. And then he's a fun, positive part of the stream. He doesn't just keep spamming the same crap. You know? All right. Ooh. Oh. Oh my god, excuse me. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm exploding here. Swaggin says that he said to ban him. He said he's not going to stop, so he'll ban him. Well, if he doesn't stop, then ban him. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the guy because I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm trying to be, you know, I'm getting older. And, you know, a lot of people get older. They get more crotchety and more obstinate and more grumbly and more, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do the opposite. I actually was way more like that when I was younger. And as I get older, I'm trying to be more mellow. I'm trying to just, like, stress relief. You know what I'm saying? Just, like, chill.
Stop. You're a negative piece of shit for a variety of reasons. But you're a negative piece of shit then. You're a negative piece of shit now. Stop. Stop. And stop making it sound like everybody who comes to your stream needs to be a positive contributor to the stream, quote unquote. Because it's bad enough that he expects your money, right? Because if not, you guys are holding out on him. But then he expects you to be one of the many dancing monkeys and make it entertaining for other people to come in so they can get ensnared, right? And be coerced into fucking giving money and all this other bullshit as well. It's just fucking lame. At the end of the day, like, spend your time wisely like you spend your money. Period. If this dude doesn't appreciate who you guys are, then stop spending time over there. How is this hard? Any other community, they would have figured this out already. But it's only in the DSP community where no one gets it. They all just sit around and want to be battered wives all fucking day, and they think this shit is normal. And it's one of the most bizarre shits ever. Like, I've never seen well, that's not true, because I've seen a lot of groups allow themselves to be not devoured. Well, they're being devoured, but you know what I mean? Be devalued to such a humiliating extent. DSP is not actually unique in that way, because there's actually a lot of communities like that, to be honest. Ironically enough, all those people are loyal cows too. But you know what I mean? It just seems dumb. It just seems really, really dumb. Like, we talk a lot over here on what's going through Phil's head to make something like this happen. And we occasionally speak on what makes someone want to sit there and essentially be why would they allow themselves to be subjected to this type of abuse? I don't know if it's even worthwhile anymore, to be honest. I don't know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know if it's just they're broken people. I don't know what the case may be. If you get a chance to see some of these people interact with other people on Twitter, not all of them are bad, by the way. Not all of them are completely mindless drones. A lot of them are drones, though, but they're not all completely mindless drones. I don't know. It's just something about Darkside Phil that they're okay with just being shit on. They're okay with other people being shit on. You know? And then when these guys get exposed or whatever, they run the Kiwi farms and say, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. And yet you all were complicit in what happened. You guys are the reason why shit panned out the way it did. All of you. You're all fucking you guys are all dirty. You guys all have grease on your hands, if you will. I'm just saying that we should probably be past the point where we feel sorry for these people. I'm sorry. Like, free will is still a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And how long do you guys have to sit around and watch your peers be devalued, be humiliated, be casted out, be doxxed, amongst other things, and you not come to the realization it could happen to you too? In the same way, on when Panda saw what happened with the situation with John, Howard, OJ, Respect the Pack, what made her think that couldn't happen to her? What made her think that she couldn't get exposed or taken advantage of just like anybody else in Phil's life? I never understood that. I never understood that. It's always one of the questions that if she ever did come out and actually say, you know, hey, I'm willing to ask me anything, if you will, on my relationship with Darkside Phil, that would be my question. If I only had one question to ask her, that would be my question. What made you think you were above them? You saw him mistreat and abuse just about everybody in his fucking life. They were all meant to be used and they had no value above that. What made you think one day that wasn't going to happen to you?
Have a good time and not worry too much about anything. So I don't need to be banning Cato or Cato from Carthage. I would hope that he would wise up and use his brain, but not everyone has one, and not everyone has the common sense, I guess, necessary to understand the difference between a meme and spamming annoyingly. Okay. Please read a book once. Oh, I've read many books in my time. I told you, when I was younger, I read the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, the actual real books. When I was quite young, I think I was in high school, either high school or early college days. And they were lengthy-ass books, but I really enjoyed reading them. Actually, no, I was younger than that. I was actually younger than that because I read them before the movies ever came out. So I was actually in my early teens when I read those. Now I'm thinking about it. I used to read Michael Crichton. I used to read Dan Brown. I used to, I read most of Game of Thrones up until, what was that, the last one that he did? I hated it. So I stopped reading it because it fucking sucked. But I used to read a lot. I also used to read tons of comic books when I was younger. Not to say that that's as heavy reading as, a novel, but I used to read a lot. I did. I used to read a ton. Now I don't read at all. All I read is your comments every day. in the stream chat, and that's more than enough.
And maybe that's the point. Maybe because you haven't read anything in 20 plus years, maybe he's the reason why you should pick up a book every once in a while, fucking Phil. Jesus Christ. But he doesn't have time for that, dude. Just like he doesn't have time for Friends. How's he supposed to do that when he's working 12 to 14 hour days? I mean, whatever.
I did not read Harry Potter. No, I did not. That's a no. I saw the movies. I did not read a single word of Harry Potter ever. Swaggin says, remember I did a Game of Thrones game I unboxed but I never played? No, I don't remember that at all. I did. I bought a Game of Thrones game. I never played it. Huh. That's actually funny. I don't remember that in any way. Wow. Redwall, yes, when I was a younger person. As a child, I read the Redwall series of books from Brian Jacques. I also read Goosebumps all the time when I was a kid because I liked horror, so I would read the Goosebumps books. Thought that was good series.
Now, keep in mind, this is more than likely his parents read to him. Is what I'm really... This is kind of the vibe I'm starting to actually kind of get out of this. It sounds more like your parents read this to you. Or you may have read it with them, if you will. I might even be willing to give him that much. Just saying.
My favorite Dan Brown novel? I would argue that I actually liked Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons equally. I read another one too, but I actually can't remember it. I read a third Dan Brown book that I can't remember at all. So obviously it didn't make much of an impression on me. But
no, it just means that alcoholism is a thing. Why would you argue that you like two books equally? Like, why don't you just say these first two books of the... I can't remember what he actually calls that trilogy, if it is a trilogy. Why don't you just say that you like them equally? Why would you make an argument about that? Why would that even be an argument? There's some people who just like all the Harry Potter books. There's a lot of people who just like all the Game of Thrones books. I mean, why phrase it that way? Are you fishing for a conversation? Which is what I'm thinking he's trying to do when he says that. It's not a good way of doing it, though. Yet again, it shows a lack of transparency. Make of that what you will.
Da Vinci Code before the movie ever came out, and I loved the book. I was really hooked on it. Did I ever read anything actually good? No, never. I never read a good book. No, only terrible books. You know, Lord of the Rings is garbage. It's drivel, right? It's terrible garbage. Yes. Keep in mind that I had to read a ton of crap for school too. I was in advanced placement courses, so I had to read British literature. You know, the fucking... Oh my god. Those are terrible books. Anything that's those fucking incredibly pretentious British books. They're so terrible. They really are. Like, you learn a lot about the English language reading them because they use these crazy ass fucking words that you're forced to figure out what they are. But the books are garbage. What's that game? Great Expectations. Oh.
What's his issue with what's his issue with Europeans and the British in particular? Like, you know that like a large part of your audience were and probably still are, you know, from overseas, right? Are you still holding on to issues with Be Awesome One? Is that what that is? Yikes. All right, Phil, do what you got to do. I guess you can't talk about black people and Jews anymore, so go ahead and talk about the Brits.
Ooh, today I woke up, I had to have a cup of tea. Oh, and my butler screwed up when he was lacing my boots. And, oh, then a crumpet fell on the floor. And, oh, we had to have 4 of our maids come and wax that piece of the floor. And then 5 suitors came to try to get me today to become their wife. And I said they're all ugly and smelly, and I sent them away. Oh, what a great day I had. That's chapter 2. I was like, wow, what a great book. It's fucking terrible. Those books suck. Seriously, like, I hate all those fucking British literature shit. That shit blows. It's so boring. Yeah, people are like, you must read it. You must read those books if you want a background in literature, because they're formative works about British culture and British society. Well, guess what? I don't live in Britain. I don't care about how British society used to be, because it sounds stupid. So I don't fucking want to read it. Yes, I did
because
read it.
being cultured and learning about other people and other ways of life is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense, Phil. Just go home. Just go ahead, sit on your ass, continue to feed your gout, and God knows what other underlying medical issues you have. Continue to drink yourself into a stupor, because you're good for that. You've been doing that for, shit, over a decade now that I think about it. And continue gambling away whatever semblance of financial security you may or may not have. That's the way of doing it. That definitely sounds like the American way, I suppose. Ironically enough. But fuck it. Fuck it. It's not really the American way. Anybody can be stupid.
Team Terrahawk. I did read the entire Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series from Bryan Adams. That's good British literature. Very sarcastic, witty, funny stuff. I'm very upset that the movie sucked, because the books are great and somehow they didn't translate into a movie very well. You know, I did enjoy Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn books. Those I thought were interesting. I actually really enjoyed those. When I'm trying to link back to all the literature I read when I was a kid, when I was forced to read in school. Those were pretty good. Not the best, you know, I mean, like, not insanely riveting. There's definitely dry parts, but pretty entertaining. Did I say Bryan Adams? Bryan Adams, the musician? No, it's Douglas Adams who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide. I said Bryan Adams. Yes. As Bryan Adams was, you know, hitting the most awesome guitar riff, he wrote the Hitchhiker's Guide series with his guitar. I don't know if you heard about that. That's pretty funny. There you go. Now someone thinks this is a cringe.
Okay, he said that he liked Huckleberry Finn, right? I'm just gonna leave this. I'm just gonna leave this for you guys, and then if anybody wants to actually research it, you can find out what I'm talking about. 219 times, and I'll leave it at that. Consider that a bit of a treasure hunt for you. It's a little bit of a treasure hunt, scavenger hunt, if you will.
Segment. Someone thinks that asking me about literature and me answering is a cringe segment. That's because you're a fucking moron. That's because you're a mouth-drooling idiot who thinks that you're only here for a certain kind of content. And God forbid that I actually talk about anything else besides games or drama. You know, oh, you can't handle that, right? I mean, you're an idiot. Really. You're a fucking moron. That you think that I can't talk about something else on my stream. Oh, what cringe that Phil is an actual human. Yeah, I know. What cringe that I'm actually have more to myself than one dimension, and you're just a moron who didn't know that.
Well, no, you're pretty one-dimensional. And the fact that you're lashing out in the way that you are kind of proves it. It kind of proves it.
So you think it's cringe for a human to actually talk about other stuff. You're a fucking complete idiot. Wow. Alright, fuck this idiot. Seriously, he's a moron. Now I hit report message by accident. I didn't mean to do that. I went to click on the screen and a giant thing opened up. Report message? No, I don't even know what that means. I don't want to do that. Close. No, I did not read War of the Worlds. I saw the movie, or the original movie of War of the Worlds, 1,000,000 years ago because my mom loved it. So we used to watch it around Halloween time. They would always play it on TV. So we watched War of the Worlds when I was very young. I saw that movie.
Now that's another thing too, and whatnot, because this goes back to his mommy connection. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, as long as it doesn't go into some infatuation like that Christian shit. But it's funny how he very rarely brings up his father or any experiences that he had with his father. It's very, very strange. Because, you know, most of the time when he does bring up his dad, it's usually in a negative light. Like, for example, when his father wanted to teach him how to ride a bike. And he didn't want to go ahead and Phil didn't want to learn because supposedly the next door neighbor got beaten up by a bunch of those colored fellas and he didn't want no more problems. It's kind of stuff like he never talks about any of the real experiences that him and his father had, at least in a positive manner. It's always just him and his mom, which is fine. It's just, I just thought it was something I'd point out. That's all.
All right, now Pac-Man's banned because he's talking about Nazi shit. Goodbye. What an idiot.
I mean, you are quite the fun Nazi. But no, like, let me jump back on that real quick. I'm sorry. It's just like when I think about all the positive, like, not even positive, when I think of all the good times that I've had with my dad, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, playing sports, watching sports, having my first beer, you know what I'm saying, just like all kinds of shit, going fishing, like all kinds of stuff that me and my dad did. And it's like, he never brings any of that up. All he does is bring up the time he spent with his mom. And yet he was so eager to leave Connecticut because of her. Well, that and all those colored folks. I don't know. It's just something to lament over, I suppose.
Yes, that's right. War of the Worlds, the movie with Tom Cruise, I saw when I was very young. I was like 2 years old. Somehow, I saw the movie that came out like 15 years later. That's correct. Have I read the Bible? Have I read it in its entirety? Fuck no. Oh my god, Jasper's making tons of noise. Have I read some of it? Yes, because I used to go to Catholic school. And in Catholic school, you would frequently read things from the Bible. You would go to church, and in church, you're reading passages from the Bible. So in general, I know a lot about the New Testament Bible. The Old Testament, not as much, because in Catholic school, they don't teach you as much about the Old Testament. They pretend like it doesn't exist, or like you should forget 90% of it because it's not in line with the teachings of the New Testament. They're like, oh,
which is actually kind of ironic, because if you think about his old history and how he tries to redact that shit, it kind of falls right in line. On top of that, Phil, those were the same, that Catholic school was the same school that taught you about the rainy day fund too, right? Let's go ahead and just memory hole that. And then that nun, you know, the one that you bought the perfume for, you know what I'm saying, the one that you really liked and whatever. So like, what made you think? What made? What? I might be. We might be wading into the vortex with this shit. All right, fuck it. Sorry, not sorry. What makes her think that? What makes you think that she would be interested in a young boy? That's my first question. Secondly, she's a nun, dude. So like, I think any prospects of dedicating her life to anything but God has kind of already, I think the train has already left that station in more ways than one. So what made you think that was a thing? Did they not teach you anything in Catholic school? I mean, I guess outside of lying, and you're not even a good one? Go ahead and hiding your history so it can make yourself seem a bit more appealing to other people. You don't even do that very well. What else did they teach you, Phil? They didn't teach you much of anything, to be honest. At least nothing positive. Certainly nothing useful. Oh well. Semantics.
God didn't totally kill all those people. No, what are you talking about? God's forgiving. Yeah. Okay, sure. All right. Let us start doing shout-outs, because it's already 11:53 and I haven't done a single shout-out yet, okay? So I know that earlier, I don't know who it was. I think it was it Parasolo, I believe? Yes, here it is. He did a super chat. He says, we're getting an early look of Dead Space tomorrow. Tomorrow, is it? They're doing a stream of it tomorrow? That's interesting. Yeah, the remake of Dead Space, the one they're remaking from the ground up to reboot the series. Apparently, they're going to do a live stream of it tomorrow to reveal some gameplay. Although they're warning everyone, it's very early. But I guess there's enough hype behind it that they at least want to show off a little bit of what they're working on. So that's cool. Thank you for that. And then Music Mouse did a super chat, and he says, I can't become a member. My mom says it's not worth it. If you have to ask your mummy to contribute to a streamer, I feel bad for you. Seriously. You had to ask your mummy? Even when I was a kid and I had my own allowance, I never asked my mummy what I could spend my money on. I just, you know.
Yeah, that is ironic, being that you did get an allowance, but yet you still demanded for your parents to buy you shit. Semantics. But it's funny, though, Phil, that you think that it's kind of funny to mock this guy who had to ask his mum to, if he could, you know, sub to the channel or whatever the case may be, but yet you had no qualms about Derek stealing his mother's credit card to give money to you. He never brings that up. He never talks about that shit. So it's okay to mock this guy right here because his parents are being responsible. And then you have Derek, who's a fucking deviant, that's going around stealing his parents' credit cards to donate to Phil. It's more of that detractor logic, I guess.
How old are you? Holy crap. Your mummy. Oh, my mummy. Mummy, I like Darkside Phil. Can I become a member? No! You're 11. If you're 11, you shouldn't be on a stream at all. If you're 11, you should be playing Fortnite. You should be on Fortnite right now, and you should be doing Dougies and wearing banana suits and doing conga lines. What are you doing on my stream?
I mean,
how dare you?
If they're 11 years old, shouldn't you be threatening to smack the shit out of them, Phil? Oh, well, that must be more detractor logic.
On here, if you're 11 years old. Come on, man. Get out of here. If you're 11, you wouldn't be able to super chat. Actually, yeah, that's true. If you're actually 11 years old, you broke the terms of service by super chatting. Because you have to be 18 to do a super chat. So, you're out of here. Get him out of here! Okay. Okay, anyway. So thank you, Music Mouse, for the super chat. I know you're full of shit. I'm not stupid. Okay, let's do some shout-outs for those who have tipped so far today. Actually, wow. Decent amount of tips. They scrolled off the screen. I actually have to scroll down to get to it. Hold on. God damn it. What the... Oh, my God. It's not... It's not working. It's frustrating me. There. Jeez, that was a pain in the ass. Okay. So actually, Lennon McCarthy was the first tipper of the day. $4.20. And says, your singing is great. The Sonic song is hilarious, especially the Fallout... Oh, enjoying the Fallout playthrough, too. Thank you, Lennon. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying the content. I don't personally think I'm a very good singer. When I was young, I thought I was a good singer. I think I'm terrible now. I would argue in the last 5-6 years, my throat has kind of gunked up. Probably because I'm getting older, and also because I talk all day long, which, you know, I didn't used to do when I was younger. So my throat is pretty shot, and I can't really hit any notes or anything anymore. But I'm glad you're enjoying the little bit of nonsense that I do. Okay? Okay. Anso Kamaru took me $4.20. So Jasper is now rubbing his face all over my foot, which is disgusting. Anso Kamaru says, I laughed so hard when you said, what's this? Oh, when you sang What's This from The Nightmare Before Christmas to that troll in the chat during yesterday's Flight Sim stream. I laughed so hard I accidentally sent an incomplete email at work. It's okay, it was worth it for the laughter. What's this? A troll is in my chat. What's this? He's a fucking asshat. What's this? iClan got banned and now he's gone. My ass is to his foot. Oh, I already fucked it up. My foot is to his ass and now he's out of gas. He's banned from the chat. We'll never see him. What's this? Yeah, he pissed me off last night, so I kicked him out. Actually, I don't even remember who he was. Snow Carl tipped $1.50. I think your idea with hats wasn't bad. I just think with your current viewership, $150 is an unrealistic goal. I don't think any kind of clothing incentive will change that, only new and increased viewership. Right, and you know, number one, you're right. It's been a slow summer. Admittedly, I came over here, and things were very, very busy with games, right? I had just finished my Resident Evil 8 playthrough, and I became over here and was streaming and had momentum, and then the summer literally slowed down to a crawl. There was next to no high-profile releases this summer, and the few that came out were honestly kind of underwhelming. Like Ratchet and Clank was good for like a session or two, and then kind of got boring. And I hate to say it, but another summer where it's just kind of like us chilling together and enjoying what we can, but kind of just biding our time till the fall. This happens almost every year. Last year was the exception because we had Ghost of Tsushima, which was supposed to actually come out earlier in the year, but had gotten delayed to the summer. But this year we went right back to the standard pattern where it was just boring summer. Nothing really to get hype over. The games that came out were all right, but not, you know what I mean? Like, listen, 12 minutes I really enjoyed. You're not going to see an insane amount of people coming in here to watch me play 12 minutes live. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to see me play the big high-profile AAA releases in the next few months. They're not going to be coming in to be seeing a narrative-based game where you're fucking your sister. Wait, what? Who said that? I didn't say that. Anyway. Anyway. I think I understand what you're saying, Snow Carl, and let's hope that in the next few months there's some big AAA stuff coming out that will bring in new viewership. Sark Pied Dill tipped me $5, and surprisingly enough, this is the top tip of the stream. He says, multiple people last night were mentioning Derek's spam. He copy-pastes the same message literally a dozen times every time until you answer him. Can you ask him to stop? If it becomes annoying...
Actually, that's ironic that he talked about sister fucking and Derek in the next... within sequence like that. That's kind of hilarious.
I haven't gotten any complaints about it. So I don't ask him to stop because he's not bothering me, and no one's telling me that he's bothering them either. What's really the problem is that people now have started to try to impersonate him and or copy what he says. So he posts a message, and then 10 other people try to spam the same message, and that gets annoying. So, you know, yeah, I entertain all suggestions. Jimmy Ryan did a $5 super chat, and maybe you could start a members-only Discord to encourage people to become members. And sadly, no. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple reasons why. First of all, because Discord, sadly, is just hard to moderate. I'm just being honest here. Discord, even though you can kind of...
I thought you didn't have a Discord, but now it's hard to moderate? Okay.
Now, I don't know because I've never set it all Discord up or anything. I don't know shit about it. But apparently, if you do know enough about Discord, you can make a Discord server and kind of lock it down so that people can't access it. But even then, I guess things can happen that people can get in against your will if someone else gives them permission. I don't really understand it because, again, I'm not into Discord. You know, the very limited use of it that I've had is other people set it up for me and stuff. I've never actually done it myself to mess with it or know anything about it. So, the only real exposure I've had to Discord is that it does work if you know exactly what you're doing, but I don't really know what I'm doing, nor do I have the time to really work on finding someone who's so well-versed in Discord that they would become, like, someone to run a Discord for me.
But see, wouldn't that be the same thing with anything? If you went ahead and familiarized yourself with any subject and put some time into it, you could be good at it. I mean, if he actually took the time to actually learn how to be a good content creator, maybe he would be a good content creator. Maybe if he actually took the time to actually learn what it took to be a good streamer, maybe he'd be a good streamer. Maybe if he took the time to try to actually be a fucking decent person, maybe, big maybe he could have been an actual decent person. To obtain anything, you have to work at it. But as you see, Darkside Phil doesn't want to do that, and he doesn't have the time to do that, and then he gets mad because he fails all the time. Imagine that.
And in addition to that, you know, my trolls have outright said things over the years that, hey, if it means ruining something for Phil, we'll pay money. So if it means we have to pay, you know, $5, actually $3.99 to become a member. But if it means doing that to become a member, just to get access to the Discord and then reveal private conversations to the world or dox people or do fucked up stuff, I'll do it. So that's why we can't have
he crying about that shit that Freddie Boy did all them years ago. Okay, so this is how, at least as far as I remember, because I wasn't actually around at that time, but I've watched enough videos, I think I got the gist of it, is DSP was being typical DSP, and he was on some bullshit about Patreon. And so, about how he couldn't refund people or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if it was over the Project 7 thing or not. It might have been. Or maybe it was about another thing. Who knows? But it was something to do with Patreon. So Freddy Boy thought, okay, I'll donate $5 to him, and we'll see what's what. Phil, somehow, some way, well, not even somehow, some way, he peeped game on who it was, and he refunded them the money, which is exactly what Fred wanted. So Fred made the argument that, well, wait a second, you told people you couldn't refund them their money, yet you were very quick to refund my money. So why couldn't you do anybody else's? And then that turned into a whole shitstorm. And yet again, DSP, being DSP, fell for the trap. Whatever that $5 was for, or whatever it was going to, whatever the situation was. Maybe it was because of, maybe this happened after the Project 7 situation. I'm not sure. But let's say it was. If it was to prove a point that, hey, he could refund you guys back for Project 7, he just don't want to do it, and he took your money and ran, congratulations for being idiots. DSP should have just taken that money, said thanks for the money, troll, and moved the fuck on for whatever the Patreon, the goals for the Patreon goal was for that year, or whatever the Patreon perks were for that year. He should have just taken that shit and rolled with it. Who gives a shit? Instead, he got paranoid, as Phil is and usually does, and refunded the guy's money back, saying, even though it contradicts something that he had said earlier about he couldn't refund people. And Phil has been dealing with that shit ever since. And that's what he's kind of referring to with that at the end of the day. Which, let's be honest, if Phil was to do something that was membership only, like advanced screenings or advanced showings, I should say, of, I don't know what he would even do advanced showing of. I guess for private streams or whatever the case may be, eventually that shit's going to leak. It leaks for everybody. There are very few content creators out there who who do stuff like that, and it doesn't leak. It always leaks. You know what I mean? Always. There's a couple of people that I watch, for example, who one of their Patreon goals is just that. Like, hey, they do videos, right? And for patrons, they get like, for people who are patrons on Patreon, they get like 72-hour access to a project before it drops. Like Trap Lord Ross is like that. He has, I think he has a goal where he kind of does that. And that shit almost always leaks. Always. There's somebody on, I don't want to expose them, but there is someone on Twitch, right, who is a patron of his, and he waits, I think he literally waits 7 hours before it drops on YouTube, and he'll have the project on stream for like 2 hours. Just for a 2-hour window, and then he cuts it. And he's always done that. I think he's done that for as long as Trap Lord Ross has been doing this. So just to give you an example, you know what I mean? Those things always leak in some way, shape, or form. Most people may not have, if you want to call this courtesy, would have the courtesy to wait until, 7 hours before the thing's supposed to drop. But things leak. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, why do you give a fuck? Just collect the money and that's it. If you have that type of concern where you're worried about something to be leaked, that means there's something in there that you don't want to get out. That's what that is. That's what that is. So if it's not going to be that type of party, then who gives a shit? Collect their money. Thanks for the money, dummies. And fucking cash that all the way to... Snort happily all the way to your fucking bank account and shit, and then spend it on WWE Champions or whatever. What's the problem? You're not fucking special, Phil. You're not unique. Other content creators have dealt with stuff like this, and guess what? They keep it pushing. Oh, man.
No. That's why we can't have nice things, because they're scumbags. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've used the bathroom. So let's take a break, all right? Let's take about a 15-minute break, 20 minutes tops. When I come back, it is the conclusion of Fallout New Vegas. Now, remember, please, if you are not, please become a channel member today if you can. We need 23 more memberships, and then we hit the goal. We can do a fun Game Pass marathon with a new episode of Feasting with the King this coming Saturday, but we have to hit the goal today. I feel that if we get 1 or 2 people becoming members, it'll basically convince more people to become members, and we'll get a pattern going, and we'll get it rolling, and we'll hit it. I know we can hit it today. So please become a member if you're not. And thank you in advance for any contributions. You know, tips are most appreciated right now because tomorrow's my day off. Yeah. See ya for that. I hope to see ya after the break. Is what I meant to say. All right, let's take a brief break. Yeah. Back, guys. Money. Oh, money. Yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Money. Yeah. Money. Oh, money. Yeah. Money. Yeah. Money. Oh, money. Yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Show me the money. Money, yeah. Money. Oh, money, yeah. Money. Yeah. Money. Oh, money, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Tipping me helps me more than anything.
That shit's so funny. Holy shit. All right, big ups to Hate Army Watch. The link to the videos down in the description. All right, give you a second to go ahead and square this up. We'll reconvene for final thoughts, and I will let you guys go on with your day, because that's what we do here. Let's continue to go with Lupe. Let's do that. That sounds good. We'll see you guys in just a second.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak, you know what I'm saying? Just little bars for the Eid Mubarak, you feel me? Yeah. Let's go. Tell them welcome to the rarefied. I can't be up here terrified. Pterodactyl Sharon, Red Baron meets Tuskegee Airmen vibes. Barrel rolling, Darren dives, and back to base like he Derek Hodge. Say my prayers like I'm scared of God. In my backyard doing samurai moves, wearing pods. He's kinda squaring odd. From an era where we called sharing cobs. Being on Ohio, we want sharing cars. Mind of Aristotle, larynx of a professor emeritus. You might be your cities, but I'm America's. Fill in the blanks, kill 'em with thanks.
You know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane.
Oh boy. All right. So what do we take from all this, ladies and gentlemen? As it was on Twitch. Well, no, on Twitch I think because a lot of the stuff carries over no matter who you are sub to. Twitch was definitely a better value. And because of the hug box mentality over there, quote unquote, you could see how he was thriving, not even thriving, how he was existing, or his existence was better there than it is here. He's dead over here. Just like I told y'all, he's dead over here. Until, if like I said, the 20th, October 20th, 21st, and 22nd of 2021. Those are your 3 dates to watch. That 72-hour period is what you're looking for. And if he does make a move, I think it'll be the Thanksgiving stream, or not Thanksgiving, the Halloween stream. Maybe he'll even wait until after the Halloween marathon to move over to Twitch. We'll see. To be honest, we will see. But that's my thoughts. That's my prediction on the move that he's gonna make. Because I think if they let him back in, if they let him back into the affiliates, I don't think he'll go back in as a partner. But I think he will go back in as an affiliate, maybe. It's the only card he has to play. So he might as well pull that. As for talking to the chat, it's condescending. He really dislikes these people. And he's already walking into that conversation being pissed off and disappointed that they're not giving him enough money in tips, and they're not giving him enough memberships. So that resentment carried over to the conversation. And the conversation was lame. Essentially, he was talking about shit that happened, what, 10, 15 years ago or whatever? What have you done recently? What have you read in the last month or two. Oh, I don't have time for doing it. I don't have time to do that shit. You don't have time to read. He doesn't have time to reach out to his friends. He doesn't have time to bathe. He doesn't have time to do anything. The guy's fucking useless. He's relatively useless. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one. This was the Pseudo Snort Report. I am your host. And have a good day, guys. Or, yeah, have a good day. I was going to say have a good week, but I don't know when this is coming out. Whatever. Have a good week. I'll see you guys when I see you. Later, people. And don't be ungrateful.
Yeah, killing with thanks. That's that Jean Grey. I walk a lonely road. That's that Green Day. Far from weak, a young Black History Month. Heralding good news. Mouth sauce jumping out my wing tray. House on vinyl. Money kinda vital. But when it turn rival, you go against the Bucks like Phoenix in the finals. Don't lose your congregation by preaching to the Bible. I'm in the zone. My friends are still alive. And I'm rhyming like a diamond in my dome. Wordplay. Tell Huggy I want a Uzi for my birthday. All these push-ups and curls got me filling out like surveys. I'm just studying religion. Chill, interrupt my sessions with phone calls from prison. Been out the game, Hall of Fame reported me missing. When the goal is album mode, I'll be back to get my position.